Yo, yo. What the fuck is this? What are Is that your new face shield?
I'll take my coffee now. Thank you. Oh.
What is that?
Somebody sent this to me in my P.O. box.
Is it a COVID face shield?
It is a COVID face shield.
Oh my gosh.
People are walking around in this. Here's the problem I have. You can't breathe because you can breathe, but the second you take a breath, the entire inside fogs up. Where are you going with this?
So I actually saw somebody with a plane or on the plane coming back from Michigan last time, and 2 masks and a face shield.
Great.
Cooch to chin face shield.
Yep, I love. I think that when people, there's a fetish definitely for that, like for people that can't breathe, like they love to be suffocated out. So I mean, when they're on there, they're like, "Yeah, Fauci's just suffocating me. I love it. Sit on me, sit on me."
It's what liberals do when they.
So there's always.
It's what liberals do when they're wanting daddy government. Oh, harder government, harder. Govern me harder. That's what they do. That's what they do.
It's so great. Trump Queen is in the house tonight. I haven't seen her in about 4 weeks.
Who's Trump Queen?
Right.
Right. Okay. Oh, look, we got Kat though.
Hey, Kat!
So obviously we are missing Kat because COVID, and so she's trying to get healed up.
Love that.
Are y'all being good? We just started, Kat. Just wait. Give it a minute.
Oh, God.
But no, definitely not behave. I don't ever behave very well. I did get yelled at by Dana in my live today. She said I was bad in my TikTok live today.
What were you doing on TikTok live?
And I got a text in the middle of the live from her to tell or not to call the lady that I was debating a cunt.
Well, it's kind of hard to do if she's a cunt.
Well, she came in calling me a dick. So I was like, oh, are we exchanging like genitalia, like private area names or what? Okay, cunt.
I love that.
And I got a text and I get yelled at.
So y'all should know, you know how I say cooch to chin.
Mm-hmm.
So I just finished Ozark, and one of the head bosses, the chick, the guy's mom, looks at the girl and she goes, "If I find out you're lying to me, I'm going to gut you from cunt to chin."
I like it.
And I was like, "Oh, she's my spirit animal, cunt to chin."
I like it. Picasso.
Ooh, I like it, Picasso. Okay.
All right, so we're gonna do a little Q&A with Anthony here. So if anybody in the chat has any questions for Ant,
oh God,
go ahead and put. Yeah, you should have trademarked that phrase. You'd be getting money.
I know. She probably saw it on YouTube. I mean, we're world renowned, so I'm pretty pissed off. I'm going to sue them.
So Tex was just being a little sensitive. I'm always a little sensitive. I stay sensitive.
When were you being sensitive?
Who, me?
On your live?
Yeah, of course. I'm always sensitive, aren't I?
I just said be careful screen record. Oh, I gotcha.
Screen recorders. Oh, I don't care.
Oh, yeah, you look good.
Yeah. So, Ant, what got you into politics? We'll start there.
What got me into politics? Okay. So, I actually started during Trump's first run for office. I wasn't really into politics before that. But when I started kind of seeing him run and do his rallies and stuff like that, I had already liked him. Doing a makeup show. What's the makeup show? So I watched Brandon Straka's walk away video, and if you could bring it up on here at some point, I would like everybody to kind of watch it.
Are we allowed?
I don't know. Are we allowed to what?
Oh. When is it? Brandon Straka, what?
Brandon Straka's original Walk Away video. Let me see.
I got it. 3 years ago, why I left the Democrat Party?
Probably. We're going to start that right after I finish this, and then it'll give you guys like a whole idea into that. So when I had seen that video, somebody had sent that to me. One of my cousins said that they're like, "Aunt, this is a gay barber from like Brooklyn or the Bronx or something. You have to watch this. Like, this is amazing." So I did. I watched it, and I was like, oh, "Holy fuck!" And then I started getting into politics a little bit more, and then I got into broadcasting school. And when they found out that Tucker Carlson was one of my favorite journalists, I instantly got blacklisted. Like they were like, "Oh shit, you're a conservative. Like, this you need to not be, so that more doors can open." And I said, "More doors, like how?" I'll get to Roe versus Wade today. Cat's me out for sure. Well, I would like you to play the video if you guys have about, what is it?
6 minutes. It's 6 minutes and
great video, I promise. Right?
And 60 seconds or 6 seconds.
You guys will love the video. Just watch it.
Okay, I'm trying to get it pulled up here.
And maybe it'll help people to walk away again.
Huh?
And maybe it'll help people to revitalize their conservatism.
Maybe. Okay, let me blow it up. We ready?
Once upon a time, I was a liberal. Well, to be honest, less than a year ago, I was still a liberal. I became a liberal because I felt I'd found a tribe whose values aligned with my own. I staunchly reject racism of any kind. I reject the marginalization of any human being based off of their gender or sexual orientation. I reject tyrannical groupthink. I reject a system which allows an ambitious, misinformed, and dogmatic mob to suppress free speech, create false narratives, and apathetically steamroll over the truth. I reject the acceptance of junk science and superstition to advance ideological agendas. I reject hate. These are the reasons why I became a liberal. And these are the same reasons why I am now walking away. For years now, I have watched as the left has devolved into intolerant, inflexible, illogical, hateful, misguided, ill-informed, un-American, hypocritical, menacing, callous, ignorant, narrow-minded, and at times, blatantly fascistic behavior and rhetoric. Liberalism has been co-opted and absorbed by the very characteristics it claims to fight against. For years now, I've watched as people on the left have become anesthetized to their own prejudices and bigotry, and the prejudices and bigotry of those around them who echo their values. I have watched as formerly sensible people who claim to reject racism have come to embrace the principles of universally hating and blaming all of society's problems on all people who have white skin. I have witnessed the irony of advocacy for gender equality morph into blatant hatred and intolerance of men and masculinity. I have seen the once earnest fight for equality for the LGBT community mutate into an illogical demonization of heteronormativity and the push to vilify and attack our conventional concepts of gender. These same self-proclaimed victims of intolerance now turning on the gay community that they attached themselves to advance their agenda, now calling gay people privileged and themselves victims of injustice. I have watched as the left has allowed themselves to become hypnotized by false narratives and conclusions perpetuated by social justice warriors who misrepresent and misconstrue facts, evidence, and events to confirm their own biases that everyone who does not comply with their prejudicial conclusions and follow their orders is a racist, a bigot, a Nazi, a white supremacist, homophobic, Islamophobic, xenophobic, misogynistic, and alt-right extremist. And I've watched as they've used these heartless and carelessly assigned labels to intimidate, threaten, bully, silence, attack, unemploy, blacklist, and destroy anybody who dares to fight back. They'll come for me, and then they'll come for you. And worst of all, the Democratic Party and the liberal media has embraced, affirmed, aided, and abetted this cult ideology. In an effort to gain voters and maintain power, the Democratic Party that I once loved has joined forces with the extremist left. The Democratic Party and the liberal media now believe their own ill-gotten conclusions and have ominously decided that they, and only they, know the remedy for society's ills. The left has decided that the solution to problems with race relations in America is more racism. The left believes that attacking, insulting, and dehumanizing one group of people elevates another. The left now believes that there are no boundaries when telling lies, omitting the truth, or misrepresenting facts when telling the news, because their end justifies their means. The left has now decided that its point of view is the only acceptable one, and that suppressing, censoring, and banning open dialogue and debate is virtuous and progressive. The Democratic Party has adopted a deleterious belief system happily and without skepticism, separating people into groups based off of identity and then organizing them into camps of victims and oppressors. If you are a person of color, an LGBT person, a woman, or an American immigrant, the Democratic Party wants you to know that you are a victim and destined to stay that way. They will insist that you are a victim doomed to exist within a system that is rigged against you, that you are a victim of systemic oppression, that you are a victim of your circumstances, and that no amount of hard work or motivational action will ever allow you to overcome your victimhood or the privilege of those around you. This is perhaps the Democratic Party's greatest and most insidious lie. But if you are a minority in America today, the left-wing politicians and the liberal media don't want you to ever discover this lie. So they bombard us with stories designed to reinforce the narrative that you are in danger, that you cannot succeed. They manipulate your fears and concerns by telling you that you are disadvantaged, disempowered, and disposable to everyone except them. They will tell you that you need them. They will tell you that you are only safe under their supervision. They will promise to liberate you from all that chains you. And then they will do absolutely nothing for you. Once upon a time, I was a liberal, but liberalism has changed, and I will no longer be a part of an ideology or political party that represents everything that contradicts my values of unity, equal opportunity, personal empowerment, compassion, and love. So I am walking away, and I encourage all of you to do the same. Walk away.
Ooh.
Hey, are you good?
I got chills all over again.
Just chill.
And I wish people like tearing it up can watch that video, and she can sit there and watch that and understand everything that gay man is saying, and understand that she is one of the, and I mention her because I really do think that she's a great person, and I think that she's a great mother, and I think that she's done great things and all that. But like, people don't realize what this country, this world government has been doing to us.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I saw a little bit of that today on my live with that cunt that was in there.
Yeah.
So she asked Jamin Lou. So she never showed her face, so she was just a little bubble.
Of course.
I had Jamin Lou on there, and then I forget who else was in there. And she asked Jamin Lou, she said, "What are you?" And he's like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "Are you Latino or what are you?" And he goes,
"Why does that matter?"
"Oh, but listen," he goes, "I'm an American."
Right.
And she goes, "Oh, so you're ashamed to say you're a Latino?" I'm like, "Hold on." So here's what I said. I said, "Okay, so if a man decides that he wants to become a woman,
that's fine.
Do you shame the man for being ashamed of being a man?" Well, no. What's the difference?
What's the fucking difference? You're a piece of shit. And you're right. Yeah. She is a cunt.
That's what I tried saying, Dana.
100%.
She's a cunt. So let's see. Let me come back up here where there's some questions here.
I don't think there were any questions for me.
Yeah, there was. What do you feel about the Roe v. Wade was one.
Oh, okay.
What specifically about the leak? Was Cat's Meow's question about the leak?
About the leak? Well, look, it's very hairy situation, right? So the leak. So here we talked about this earlier, Tex. You know, this is the highest court of the land. Okay, this is the most
Mhm.
highest. So the simple fact that somebody in this supposedly it was a clerk, which somebody had made a good point. You had told me before, but let's just go with the clerk, right? Somebody in the clerk's office or whatever had leaked this. I haven't read anything since because I've been gone all night. It's messed up that it was leaked because then the courts can't do their job, right?
Mhm.
They can't do what they're set out to do. And that's another bullying tactic of the left. That's what they do. They bully you, they harass you, they make you feel less than superior. They threaten you with your life. They give you death threats. And now I'm not saying that conservatives have not given death threats because I've seen y'all go after people for me. So y'all are crazy too. But and I appreciate it. But it's just don't be giving people death threats. But I'm saying in these situations where it's like on a broader scale, right?
Right.
It's like we're gonna burn shit down unless you say yes.
Mhm.
And it's crazy. And here's the thing: is I was a pro-choicer, guys. I really did not read too much into the abortion subject because I was like, I don't have any skin in this game. Like, I'm not going to be getting women pregnant. I'm not a woman, but it does matter, right? It matters. It matters because I'm a human being, so it matters that kids are being that kids are dying, children being killed, and when you have California who passes a bill with a loophole that women can dispose of their babies within 28 days after birth, you now have me as a pro-lifer. I'm sorry. There's no excuse. And if the excuse, and I never knew this, my thing was always like, well, I don't agree with rape or incest. Okay, that I didn't know this. I looked it up, and it's 1%, guys. 1% of all cases. And the child had nothing to do with its rapist. So why are we killing the child?
Right.
So look, my son was saved from abortion. That's what I mean. Like, and I got it today from a conservative who was in my DMs telling me, I don't agree with you on this one. Well, look, listen, I'm not asking you to agree with me. I don't give a fuck what you agree with or don't agree with. I'm telling you that this is where I stand. And he said that it's just a clump of cells. Well, so is the plant in my living room. So are you.
Right.
So is the rabbit that I just saw outside. It's all a clump of cells. It's a living thing. It's a living organism. It's living.
You know who I think leaked it?
Who?
Breyer.
Oh, yeah, that's what you had mentioned that earlier. Yeah, because
he's got nothing to lose. He's retiring. He's got nothing to lose.
Right, exactly.
Now, he might not have done it directly, but I guarantee he probably had his hands in it because he's pissed.
Well, look, this is something that can sway an election.
I think that has a lot to do with it too.
Yeah, we got midterms coming up. This is something that can sway an election. It's shameful. They should be prosecuted to the fullest extent that can be when they do find that out. I'm a rape. Look at this. I am a rape victim, and if I wouldn't have gotten pregnant, I would have kept the baby. It's not their fault. That's my point. Thank you so much for even saying that. That's what I'm saying. It's not the child's fault. There's many things that you can do for that child afterwards, and yourself, right? That can help that situation out. But at the end of the day, I think back to like people in my family, like my sister-in-law that could never have kids. And then we have people just throwing kids in trash cans. They have 28 days.
Right.
Like, there's women who cry because they're infertile. They have somebody carry their kid, like, and we're just killing kids. Like we're just killing them.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, and I think that obviously, like, when you take a look at the left and whatnot, I mean, they have completely dehumanized the fetus or the baby or the clump of cells. I mean, that's why they call it that, because they don't want the sad reality that it is a baby in there. It's not just a clump of cells. It's not just a fetus. It's not, but mind you, this is also from the same people that's been preaching trust science, even though science has said life begins at conception.
Well, look, this is also the same people text. This is what really gets me. Like, stay consistent. Have the same
Yeah.
energy across the board, right?
Right.
Stay fucking consistent. So these are the same people that are badgering you for making sure you know that men can get pregnant and there's 24 different genders. But today, only fucking today, there's 2 genders, only women matter, only women can get pregnant. But yesterday, men can get pregnant. Apple believes so. They came out with an emoji, and there's 24 different genders, so don't fuck with me. Like, this is what I'm saying. You, as a fucking liberal, keep that energy because I want your male friend that's pregnant now, that's about to have a baby pop out of his fucking dick. I want him to also be a pro-choice because now he's allowed to abort his baby. Did you ever see that South Park episode? I'm sorry. There's a South Park episode where the teacher, you know, the gay teacher, he ends up turning into a transsexual. Okay?
Yeah.
He goes to the doctor and he says, well, I think I have my period. And the doctor's like, well, that's impossible. You can't have your period. No, I can. He's like, no, you're a man. But I did the whole surgery and I became a woman. Right, but you can't have a period. You are a man. Well, I would have never gotten the surgery had I known I couldn't get. Like, I hate using the word. They're flatliners. They're brain dead. They're completely brain dead. I saw a couple of liberal creators that made videos of like scenario, like they were trying to like compare it to like certain things. Thank you. Here we go.
Mrs. Garrison.
Mrs. Garrison, you can't have an abortion.
Don't you tell me what I can and can't do with my body. A woman has a right to choose.
No, I mean you're physically unable to have an abortion because you can't get pregnant.
But I missed my period.
You can't have periods either. You had a sex change, Mr. Garrison, but you don't have ovaries or a womb. You don't produce eggs.
You mean I'll never know what it feels like to have a baby grown inside me and then scramble its brains and vacuum it out?
That's right.
But I paid $5,000 to be a woman. This would mean I'm not really a woman. I'm just a guy with a mutilated penis.
Basically, yes.
Oh boy, do I feel like a jackass.
That's what I'm saying. No.
Oh my goodness.
And I have. And look, I'm sorry. Like I tried. I've said this in the last couple of shows. I've tried to come across the aisle. I've tried to understand other people, like this other side. I don't think that we're at the point of civilization where we can't. Unfortunately, we can't bridge this gap.
Well, I think so. There's like I do believe that there are certain issues that we can bridge the gap. There's just some that I don't think we will ever. I think this is one of those topics that will never bridge that gap. Never. You're either for it or you're against it. It's just one of those things, and there's no middle, or very few middle on that. But I think that's where it's at. Is that like sure, there's some things that like budgeting or taxes that we can kind of go back and forth on. We see pauses and maybe meet in the middle or something like that. But
yeah.
Even like military spending and the military and all that. But I think this particular one is definitely one of those issues that I don't think there will ever be a meet in the middle. I mean, I've been saying this, like, I think it was like 7 or 8 years ago. I got to look it up so I can get it for sure. Texas had passed an abortion bill that basically made it so that the abortion clinics had to be within like a certain distance of a hospital, that the abortion clinics had to have the same kind of regulations that hospitals have in the abortion clinic. So hallways have to be a certain point, certain width apart, and all this stuff. What you would have thought would have been a compromise, because at the end of the day, one, we're still allowing the abortions, but two, we're also making it safer for the women to have abortions. Right?
Right.
Supreme Court chopped that law down. because it got sued by the Democrats.
Mhm.
I think during the Obama years it was. They sued and won because of Roe v. Wade. And this is the argument that I've had with some liberals on the TikTok is that like we all can't be happy that at the end of the day, this is where like some middle ground should be able to be played. Do you really want the highest court of the land to be making decisions on something that was based on a lie?
No.
Because the entire thing, if Roe v. Wade was presented correctly and with truth, not the lie, we might not even be discussing Roe v. Wade right now.
Yeah. Well, and in my opinion, I honestly, at this point, I think that like out of the top 5 things that's most important right now to me, abortion is one of my top 5. After that California bill, I'm sorry, you trash bags are not killing baby children at 20. Sorry.
Where was it prior to
Where was what?
abortion ranked?
On mine, well, that's what I'm saying. I really didn't get involved in abortion rights up until I had gotten that presented to me. And I was like, wait, come on. There's no way in the United States of America that anybody would be, even a liberal, would be okay with somebody like 12 days into after having a kid and they're walking down, the street and they're like, and toss it into a trash can. Like, there's no way.
Right.
Right. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, there is a way. There's literal brain dead people that are like, yeah, but it's fine though.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm going to snap your dog's neck tomorrow and throw it in a trash can. And I want to see how you freak out.
You just triggered Dana. I can guarantee it.
Well, do you know what I'm saying though? Like, so your pets are more important now. Like liberal people have went like this for me. If you were a roach, I would step on you. It's at that point now. And it's a shame because there was a couple of gals that we had on here that I was like, all right, I'll listen. And now I'm just like, oh, y'all are. So I'm sorry. I cannot physically, I just can't. I can't be like, I can't.
Right. See, I think Ames, as far as like doing research, I think a lot of that right there, I don't think people want to do the research because they don't want to know the truth.
They don't want to know the truth.
And this is why they have to dehumanize the fetus or the baby, the clump of cells, whatever you want to call it. That's why they have to dehumanize it. And the funny thing is if a woman is going down to have an abortion on her way to the clinic and gets murdered, it's double homicide.
Great point. Have you brought these up?
Oh, all the time.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
Yeah, it's funny how that works. And it's life to get a criminal charge, but it's not life to get.
Got it. Okay, I'm glad I know how that works. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense, right? I mean, but like you were saying, stay consistent with your energy.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, 100% makes sense. Uh-huh. Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, how's it been over there on Instagram with all of this? Because I haven't gotten like any pushback on Instagram.
Well, I honestly don't read my comments at all anymore.
Oh, you don't?
No, I don't read my comments. Like, I used to be super hyper focused on it on TikTok, but I do not like any of my social media platforms, whether it's Twitter, Facebook. I just don't. And it sucks because some people are like, hey, I try to tag you or whatever. And I'm like, sorry, like, I'm not going to read it because I don't have to feed into this. Like, you've been with me in public.
Mm-hmm.
I'll look at somebody, I'll be like, what's up? What is this? Because.
And you do.
Yeah, because
you really do.
They need to know that they look like trash.
The irony of the whole thing is You're like the opposite of most people on the internet. Most people on the internet do that and they're scared of you in person. You're scared of people on the internet, but but in person.
I used to just not like the negative like feedback, and that's why I stopped reading my comments.
Right.
Because I was like, who's Jane 616 with no picture or a picture of her fucking toilet? Like, no, you guys can. So I do scroll on the comment section, and like if Heather Silverwood commented, like I would know who that is. Like if I recognize the handle, I'll like it. I'll look, you know. But if I don't recognize the handle, or if I see one negative word in the sentence or phrase, I'm just like,
I'm gonna start leaving you some negative comments.
shut up.
This video sucked.
The reason why I used to
Be better. Do better.
The reason on TikTok I used to block people and be so hyper focused in the comment section was because trolls were the ones who reported you on TikTok. So I was like, who's talking, who's making negative comments? I could block them right away so they don't report all my content.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas on everything else, I'm like, have fun. You're a flatliner, brain dead liberal. Have a good time.
So was TikTok your like first social media where you realized like I could grow this into something?
I had no plan on growing. I didn't. So after the broadcasting school thing, I wasn't going to do it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I was whatever. I was done with it, whatever. But when we were locked down for COVID, like when we were doing the COVID, people kept sending me TikTok. And I was like, what is this? And it was like stupid, like trends and funny videos and like animals, whatever. And then I'm like, I had to download it, right? You have to download it. I created a profile.
Was that how we get you back on TikTok? Is we all just start sending you TikToks?
No, I'm over it.
I was trying.
I think TikTok is so stupid. Like, I still see people like making posts on Instagram that I love. They're such great content creators, and I literally call them out in the comment section. I think Nick Foster is one of them. I love him to death, but I'm like, bro, what's TikTok? Because he's like, oh, they didn't like me again, banned for the 700th, like 76th time, and I'm like, but why though? Like, who? Like, why go back?
Right.
Like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. You're very missed on TikTok. I get it, but like, I'm literally posting the same content. Not only am I posting the same content.
Does Instagram cost money to be on it or something?
Does it cost? No, it does. Free. It's a free app.
Oh.
I don't download it. Like, it's a free ass app. Like, I don't know what the obsession with TikTok is. Maybe saying the well, that's just because I haven't made a video like that again. I can make it on Instagram. The tool is there. I don't know, but I don't run with the same series for a long time. I did that once and my friends yelled at me. It was called camp, my camp videos.
Oh my.
No, but even when I was doing camp videos, I had done other series and mixed it in. Like I never like really like continue on, except for the calls, the ant calls.
Oh yeah.
I throw in once in a while. It's not going to be every day, but you're still going to catch it. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I still post that on I still post this stuff on Instagram.
Yeah, I need you to call Joey and Cam again.
I do need to call them. Well, who knows?
Especially now. You need to see how they feel. Like Joey might be like, although in 1981, I did learn today, Joe Biden supported states to overturn. Yeah. So when did you when in your TikTok career, I guess, did
so I didn't finish that part.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I just, I was living in a very liberal state, and obviously everybody knows I'm from Illinois. And so when we went into the next phase of lockdown, so backtrack. Started doing videos. I was doing the trendy shit. I mean, dude, I was putting on wigs. I was like doing voiceovers. I did My Cousin Vinny. I did all these like different little skits, right? And then I got pissed off about being locked down again. And then the BLM riots were going on. I'm like, whoa! that was when I had that oh shit moment, because there was a time where we were kind of worried about COVID too, because we didn't know what was going on. Like they made it seem like people were like there were body bags like laying in the streets. Like we had no
Right.
idea.
Right.
So when I was like, wait a minute. You mean there's thousands of people shoulder to shoulder right now, and I gotta drop grocery bags off out front of my parents' driveway? Make it make sense, bro. And then I'm locked down for another 30. Like, what? And these people aren't getting with what? And then me and Jimmy started. So I did a video, and I was like pissed. And I like hit the kitchen table. I'm like, you mean to fucking tell me that we're stuck in the hospital 30 fucking days? Blah blah blah. I woke up the next day, 60,000 followers. This fucking video goes fucking viral. I'm like, what the fuck is this? So Jimmy's like, keep doing that. Do ant rants. Do ant rants. So I kept doing I was at the table. My first original thing was I used to hit the table. That was my first original. Oh, it didn't start with this. It started with the, and people were like, oh, when you smash the table, I feel it. Do you feel it though?
I do. How you doing? So then what? I guess that just built, and then is that when you morphed into the thing?
So of course I started getting more comfortable. I started getting followers. I started listening to comments. Started listening to people. Started doing lives. You know, you start to kind of develop the craft a little bit. My comedy came back out in me. My broadcasting things came back out in me. All the things that like I was energized again started coming back.
Yeah.
One day I started drinking my coffee, and I did a video, and I you know, countdown, started doing the video. I took a sip of my coffee, and it was super hot. And I was like, oh my God. And I wasn't going to stop the video because I was like, this is good. So like I was super hot, and I burnt my tongue, and I was like, oh. Anyways, so and I started doing the video. People fucking lost their mind. They're like, yo, what is this? What did you just do there? What was the sorcery? And I was like, I don't know. Like, I was like, I don't know. So I just continued to do that. And they're like, oh, it's like you're tickling liberals' balls before you fucking hit them with the So I was like, okay. And I was already doing the pop.
Yeah, you've done that your whole life.
High school, yeah, my whole life. And the arm throw I've been doing since I was a kid. We already know all the drama on that. The whole throw my arm up. People said I don't even know who this is. Somebody said, oh, you took it from me. Remember all that drama?
No, nobody even knows.
These are my normal mannerisms. It's just
it is. I can confirm because it's every day on FaceTime. Anytime I'm in person, it's always.
And I'll be, you know, even
at least one time during a FaceTime conversation.
Well, even when I'm standing there, I'll be watching the news for a minute, and I'll stop in front of the TV, and I'm like, "Can you believe this?" And everyone, and Jimmy's
nobody's
like,
home.
Yeah, nobody's home. I'm like, I'm doing a video right now.
Your dog's like, "What the fuck is wrong with this human?"
He must think I'm. he probably thinks I need a straight jacket for sure.
So when did you did it click to you like I can possibly make this into something?
I think once I started to do lives and stuff, and then people started asking me for merch, I thought it was like, come on, there's no way. And then when I started seeing like creators that I had looked up, like I started following when I had like 100 followers. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh my God, they noticed me and followed me back. The fuck? And I was like, this could be something. Like, since I was a little kid, I've always wanted to be an entertainer. I come from a family of entertainers. All of my father, my aunts, my uncles, they've all always been playing live music. They've been in bands. They've entertained shows. They've been hosts, MCs, DJs. Like, we've always been in that industry, and I've always like performed in front of my parents at the dinner table as a kid. So I've always had that little ass pucker. And then, oh. And then as I started to get comfortable on camera, because I wasn't comfortable. I used to hate how I looked. I started getting more comfortable, and I started it, and I was like I used to do this really weird thing when I
That's why
talk.
backstage you're still doing this, like. As our intro's playing, Ant's over there going.
Right. I'm like,
He's like, crew, I need one more blush right here.
wait, where's the crew? There's nobody. Here's my crew. What the fuck is he doing?
Surprised that thing's still alive.
Oh, fucking asshole motherfucker.
So when did you realize that you can turn this into something?
Around then,
When
I
they started asking for merch and whatnot.
yeah, and then I was like, okay, all right, this is like, and
So at that time, what were you thinking you might grow this into?
well, I wasn't really that sure, to be honest. I
Okay.
didn't know where it was going to go, and you know, I was hoping, like I've always wanted to, you know, even just be kind of like a news anchor personality, at least like kind of like a Jesse Waters or Greg Gutfeld. Like I've always kind of, because I don't want to be like that serious. Like, look, the world is fucking nuts. We have all this crazy shit going on in this country, in the world, and this administration. And this is how I would say it. Most of America doesn't understand all this shit. They don't. And the reason why they don't is because they purposely do that. See, these people think that y'all are fucking stupid. They really do. And what COVID, I think, and what Donald Trump did that fucked them was normal, everyday people with just personality started doing their own research.
Mhm.
And they started to say, I'm a fucking journalist at this point. Like, and so I have my own way of presenting it. You have your own way of presenting it. Kat has her own way of presenting it. You have all these different creators all over social media that have their own way of presenting this in different ways and different personalities. So, like, my way, and what I thought was, I'm like, I'm stupid too. Trust me. Like, when it comes to like really
I trust you.
what, you trust me?
You said I'm stupid. Trust me. And I said, oh, I trust you.
Oh yeah, thank you. I'm stupid in the sense of like, also with all these different, you know, before, like when I used to hear stuff in the news, I'm like, and then I would change it. I'm like, I don't know what they're fucking talking about. Like,
Right.
so if I can do it in a sense, like in a little bit of a comedic sense and add my flair to it, people are going to be more like, and at least they can laugh and be like, holy shit, I didn't know that.
Right.
You also made me laugh, but holy facts. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. So now, so you didn't know then kind of where it would go. One, did you think it would lead you to where you're at now? And then two, what's your goal? What's the end goal?
No, I didn't. Well, so I there was one point where I reached kind of a fork in the road, right? And I knew that I always wanted to stay more political. I wanted to be in entertainment, but I wanted people to know where I stand. And I don't want to be quiet about that. So the fork in the road was, do I stay on the political track and continue the political thing and then everything else is a bonus? Or do I leave that political thing behind? Thank you, Lisa. Do I leave that political thing behind me and go the entertainment route and then kind of fold?
I remember this fork in the wall.
You were there for me.
We talked a lot in that fork.
Yeah. And I'm super, super happy that I had great support. and that I made the decision to stay where I was, to continue doing what I was doing, because if I would have let my voice go to waste, and I'm sure the entertainment route probably would have happened. Like,
And maybe quicker, in all honesty. I mean,
yeah, right, 100%. I said, no. Mm-mm. I'm going to continue doing this shit. I'm going to continue doing the political shit because that's where my passion's at. Everything else will come with it. And it has. And it's kind of now snowballing a little bit. And in a good way. And look, I'm going to be a little guest spot in a comedy club here in Naples, right? But
nice.
I'm surrounded by like-minded patriots that are also stand-up comedians.
Okay.
So I'm getting my little bit of what I wanted to be an entertainer, but everybody that when I get on that stage, everybody's gonna know this motherfucker's a conservative.
Right.
Wasn't also making great. Oh, 100. Listen, I've made lifelong friends on TikTok for sure. TikTok wasn't a bad thing for me. My daughter directed me to. Yeah, she was trying to help. Oh, that's beautiful. Love you. Love your daughter, Kathy. This is what made me continue to fight. That kind of stuff. Comments like that. People like people reaching out to me. You know, I always try to stay more on a personal level with people.
Yeah.
You know, on all my platforms. So that's definitely helped. But look, now I'm still doing the political thing. I'm hoping I can run for some type of office in Florida. I'm making the right political connections. And the goal, I'll you know, what's my goal? I think Newsmax needs a whole new crew, and I would like to take over an entire network and bring all different types of personalities on, and have just different types of shows, different types of conservative-based news, TV, personalities, all of it.
I wouldn't be welcome there.
You would literally have a spot.
No, I would. The FCC would ban me in a heartbeat.
Can't you just clean it up a little bit? You can't say cunt.
You just did.
It's my show. I'm totally kidding. No.
But you're right about Newsmax, because that's the one thing I can't stand watching Newsmax in general. They feel like they're 40 years ago broadcasting.
Dude, it has so much potential. They literally have an entire network that is. So do y'all remember Mrs. Doubtfire?
Yeah.
Okay. Remember when Robin Williams is standing in the, you know, he's like the guy that's like transporting all the stuff back and forth. And he watches that guy that's like, this is the carnivore. Whoa,
Oh yeah.
whoa. And everyone was sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's a bunch of those guys
Yeah,
on
I agree.
Newsmax.
I agree.
Where I'm like, oh my God. Not even a moderate would stay on this channel. It's so bad. You have so many creators across all these different platforms. Forget about, I'm not even talking about, I know so many great, where you
No, you're right.
pick them, drop them behind a desk, and people be like, oh, this is great. Oh my God, I love this. Oh, and it's a whole new Fox News. It's a whole new thing.
And you know, that's a solid point, because you would think that some of these people, whether it be even Hollywood or even would or your news for politics, would come in and just start watching.
Yeah. So I can say
They
it.
can have the best of the talent everywhere.
It's all over, bro. And here's the thing: is we all
And you can probably get them cheap to start, because like, and if I came in and said for $75,000 you want to be a news anchor,
done.
Yeah.
I would do it for 50 G's.
huh?
I would do it for 50 G's.
See, and I guarantee they're probably what's like Greg Gutfeld make? A couple million
Oh no, dude! Listen, Tucker Carlson's like $7.6 million he's worth
a year. He makes $7.5 million a
Hold on,
year.
I'm gonna look. Does Tucker Carlson make 5 million?
He makes
Oh,
5 million.
monthly income is 5 million. Salary is $35 million.
That pisses you off, doesn't it?
It doesn't, because I fucking adore him, and look. He's
Hey, what's Don Lemon make?
I adore him. I can't believe I'm actually typing Don Lemon. Oh my god. Dole Lemon. Who's a Dole Lemon? Don.
Donnie!
How much does search. How much does Don Lemon make?
Is it
Okay,
Lemon?
Don Lemon's net worth is 10.4 million. His income salary per year 1.73. So he's not even making as much as Tucker. He's making $33,000 a week. Still.
But nobody on the left that worships these people are mad about them elite making that kind of money.
No, babe.
Okay.
No,
I was just checking.
It's different.
Yeah.
It's different. No, it's different.
So
And they weren't
now
mad
here's the
either.
question: Will your next fork in the road be becoming a politician or Newsmax?
Well, why can't I do both?
Because you can't. This is why Donald Trump had to give up his TV show, because you can't, because that'll use it for leverage. That's why Chad Prather can never even speak about running.
Yeah, that's true. Look, I would. I'm gonna try to run in Florida for something. I'm starting to talk to right people. If that comes first, I'm not actively trying to be on the network. I'm really not.
No. Oh, I know you're not, but I was just even saying Newsmax. I was more saying like media kind of.
Yeah, I mean, if they reached out to me on their own, I would definitely listen and hear them out and be like, yes. Like, yeah, if it made sense, yes. But I'm going to do the first thing first. I hate to say politician, but like I would like to try and do that first to see if I can do that. If that came and I was actively in a position, I would say I gotta wait. Like, I gotta wait until I'm done. Right? I mean, how does that work? I'm ignorant when it comes to that.
No, I mean, essentially that's what you would have to do.
Yeah.
But which could turn into really a lifelong politician gig when you think about it, because obviously if you look at the rankings of most politicians on like Capitol Hill, they all rise through the rankings of local.
True.
So you might, whether it be school board or city council, you might be like, okay, county commissioners next, because that's kind of the next one that I think I can help a broader. And then let me go for state senate or Congress. And then, that way you're getting more of a reach and more being able to help. So that could be something.
It could be something.
Yeah.
But, I just want to roll with the punches.
Hey, if you become like high up in the senator list, can I just be your Hunter Biden?
Oh, sure.
I want to go on the board of Burisma and make money in Ukraine, bring it back over, not get in trouble for it. I mean, you'll be safe. You'll be safe, but
yeah. Well, no, because I'm a conservative, so no.
Oh, that's right. Did you hear about Hunter Biden's latest?
No, what's the latest?
Turns out he was flying to Russia to meet a Russian oligarch that was connected to Putin. Met this same Russian oligarch twice more for business adventures here in New York and in DC. This particular Russian oligarch, did you know that currently he is sanctioned by the UK because
Oh,
of the Russia-Ukraine war.
yes.
Do you know who hasn't sanctioned this guy?
Ooh.
Biden.
Oh, but hey, it's fine. And don't worry about it. Listen, they're like, oh, it's no big deal. Ask your liberal friends what they think.
But if this had been Don Jr. and Trump was president still, impeached.
What? 100%. He's been impeached for less, bro.
It's true.
For much fucking love him or hate him, he's been impeached for less.
For a phone call with the Ukrainian president, remember?
Correct. But